Let's get a little personal here. Your dad has been, and I was privileged to be at the photo shoot last year that we did, photo and video for you. And, you have a really great relationship with your dad. And I could see that, you're obviously in business together. So you have that, you're communicating on that level, which is quite different from, communicating as father and son. And so there was that businessy sort of communication. And then there was also, I got this great photo at the end of the shoot of you and your dad hugging, and I thought that was really nice. You guys are having fun together, So tell me about the relationship with your father, and how that relates to the business.
For everybody out there who's had dads, which we all have, and for everybody out there that's a father, being a son and being a father, I think gives a little bit more respect to looking back on all those judgments I may or may not have had of my dad, looking back.
I think it was Mark Twain. It might have been Mark Twain. It might have been Stephen Leacock. I tend to confuse them, but I think it might have been Twain who said that. I'm just going to paraphrase here. It amazed me how much smarter my father became as I got older.
Yeah, I had the privilege of having my dad in my life. I know that's not always the case for some people. My dad, I grew up with a dad in the home, and I grew up with, my dad around. But I would say my dad always worked extremely hard. He tried to play hard but also work hard with me growing up. I think, as I think back on my childhood, is there 10 or 20 things that, I could come up with a list of things that I wish could have been different? Sure. But I would say that list was probably 3 or 4 times longer for my dad in terms of, oh man, I wish I did this or this or this. I think the rubber hits the road when you say, generally speaking, do I believe he did his best under the circumstances? Yes. And for me, I think of that, as really where I kind of look at as a dad. I don't want to be an okay dad. I don't want to be a so-so dad. I want to be the best dad I possibly can be. And that includes all of my screw ups, all of the things. But I hope that when my kids do an interview like this, that they can say, yeah, my dad messed up. He did all this stuff wrong. But at the end of the day, I knew that he loved me and he'd do just about anything for me. And so, generally speaking, I love my dad a lot. He's, we've had challenges. We kind of mutually went through an interesting season in our lives where my dad lost his wife prematurely and I lost my mom prematurely when I was a teenager. And that I would say put some extra strain on the relationship as I don't envy his scenario of trying to figure out how to navigate that. That was certainly a very challenging time for everybody. But at the end of the day, I would say that now, looking back, it's allowed me to try to enjoy life every moment for what it is. Every day I wake up is a great day. And I would say that my dad very much so tries to have that same mentality. And so with the way we've done business together and the way we've tried to work together really has been a reflection of that. Very respectful, very desirous of trying to see the best for both parties. And when we've had hiccups or we've had challenges within the business where we might be in a disagreement, we'll kind of lay it all out and we'll kind of hammer it out. And I think what's been really positive though is when I joined the business, both of us are fiercely independent people, and both of us, like, part of the challenges as a teenager was that we were independent and both are very opinionated, and both have a very strong entrepreneurial spirit. And so what caused as a conflict perhaps when I was younger, I would say acted as a value play in our business together, in the sense that when I joined the business, it was for the pure purpose of buying it out and taking it over. So it was never a conversation that I worked for my dad. It was a conversation that I was coming in as a partner for the sole purposes of being a partner to take over. And so it really helped in the dynamics of my dad being able to voice a very strong opinion. I was able to receive it with respect and genuinely want his opinion, but then ultimately knowing that I had the say. Feeling that I have control and direction was a big, powerful tool in my toolbox to know that I didn't feel like I was out of control.